Hi, welcome to your weekend minutes for Module 8. And I'm doing weekend minutes this week because I was on vacation earlier in the week, and this is the first chance I've had to get in front of the video camera and to send you a short little update like I try to do every week. And so today I just thought I'd quickly touch on the topic of conflict. And I think, especially when we look at a global context, which is one of the, really framing elements of this class, is we're looking at organizational behavior in a global context, that there's certainly conflict that exists within organizations. That's intra-organizational conflict. And that can happen by having people from different cultures who have different languages and different values and different assumptions and different expectations, trying to work together to get things done. That often results in a breakdown of communication, which can result in conflict. But I've been thinking a lot more about inter-organizational conflict between organizations, and that can happen in a global context too, and can be influenced by it. And I've been thinking a lot about this Greek debt crisis that we're facing. And I don't know how much you're paying attention to this, but anybody who has a retirement account is thinking, oh, how is this going to affect the value of my retirement account? How is this going to affect the marketplace? It really is a really critical issue, and it's quite dramatic to watch this unfold. And if you're not familiar with the issue here, the members of the European Union helped to refinance debt that Greece had to private equity organizations. And so it became more of a state-held debt. And so in particular, Germany holds a lot of the debt that Greece has, that it's accumulated, and countries have debt for many different reasons. We probably are all aware that the United States has debt. The problem is that Greece can't make payments on their debt, and so this has become a problem, and Greece has sought to basically, let's change the agreements of how this debt is held. Let's restructure it. Let's refinance, as it were, so we can pay off our debts. And there's been a lot of conflict and a lot of negotiation between Germany and Greece and other countries in the European Union because, there's a lot of money at stake. And so this is really having a big effect on business in Europe. And there's a lot of uncertainty right now in terms of the financial status of the euro and the status of Greece within the European Union. And so it's very interesting to watch this unfold. And of course there's different perspectives on this, and it can become somewhat political. Basically Germany is asking for Greece to take austerity measures. That basically means that they want them to cut back on their social welfare programs, on their payments of pensions, and they're basically their social safety nets, things like Social Security and whatnot. And while Greece has done some of that in the past, they're very resistant to continue to do that because it's politically untenable within their country. People don't want to be living on a subsistence kind of pension. So a lot of people say, hey, Greece is spending money that they don't have, and that's true, but it's not just because of social welfare programs. It's also, if you look at Greece, Greece has the highest per capita number of small business owners, which is in many ways great. That there's this entrepreneurial spirit in Greece. The problem comes, though, that they also, there's almost religiously they avoid taxes, which we can understand. No one likes to pay taxes. But when everybody is not paying the taxes that they should be, you don't have revenues, and you don't have the money to pay back on the debts that you've incurred. And part of the establishing of those debts was that there would be a certain amount of revenue to pay back those debts. So it's very interesting to watch this unfold. And again, I don't want to take sides on this, even though my name is Wagner, and many people call me Wagner. I certainly have German roots. I can see, certainly that Germany, feels like, hey, we were owed this money, you should be paying us back. But there's been a number of times in the past when Germany had debts that were forgiven. And that they didn't pay back in full, both after World War I and after World War II. Germany did not repay the debts that it had to other countries. And so in some ways it's ironic that they're in this position now of holding this debt to Greece, and so upset that Greece can't pay it back, or at least pay it back in the way they want them to. So I guess I just wanted to share the thoughts on that with you, and wonder, what you've been thinking about, how does this apply to what we're talking about? Certainly it does reflect the global marketplace, that organizations are very connected, and there's many different ways that conflict arises, and certainly in a global business context, the conflicts between nations is going to affect how we do business in a multinational sense. And so it's certainly right now a lot of things are on hold. There's a lot of uncertainty waiting to see how this is going to be resolved. Well, just a couple of points on what's happening in class. A reminder that your best practices groups should be finishing the paper and the PowerPoint, and those are both due on July 14th, and you should be posting those in your group's file exchange area, and the word final should be in the file name. I should have all of your groups scheduled for your final presentations during the last 2 weeks of class, and so if you're not aware of that date, please contact your group members. If they don't know, please contact me, because we need to have all the groups presenting during that last 2 weeks. As always, if you have questions, please contact me. Have a good weekend. Bye now.